You can see how much work it was and why I should be getting a tip because of how much work this was.
No, you don't deserve a tip. You certainly don't.
Why do I not?
You're crushing the ramen noodles for one.
Yes, the ramen noodles are perfectly fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, they're not.
They're perfectly fine.
I just saw you crush them for
They're
one.
not crushed. And why does it matter anyways? I'm
You're
taking
not
it back
good
to
at
the
your
store. They're
job,
not for
so
you
why would you
anymore.
get a tip?
They're not for you anymore. I just told you why I should get a tip.
They-
I had to pack all of this in my car and bring it to you guys and unpack it. You did not pay me. You paid the
I paid
delivery
for
app.
this food, okay?
You paid the delivery app. You did not pay me. Do you
not
not understand that? No, I'm taking all of this back.
Live and learn. In today's world, paying for convenience is at an all-time high, especially when it's convenient for you. With the evolution of smartphone, everything has become more and more convenient with the click of a few buttons and these delivery service apps. Now, my question is to you, when you're requesting service or ordering, do you expect a tip when you're paying for convenience or you request service from these apps? Or do you expect a tip if you work or provide a service for these apps? Now, don't be a hypocrite, don't be hypocritical, but comment down below and talk to me and let me know your thoughts. I want to hear how you feel. Because there's this young lady who refused to deliver service to its customer because the customer decided it wasn't worth a tip, or the customer had no obligation to tip for that service. $400 worth of groceries. You know, when you ordering $400 worth of groceries, they come in big bulks, like you ordering from Costco and Walmart and things like that, right? It's not an easy job delivering $400 worth of groceries. You know, you got waters and sodas and everything in big bulks. But this young lady, she delivered the service, delivered the goods, and she had to unpack it and then pack it right back in her trunk when she found out the couple would not tip her for her service. Check it out.
You're not good at your job, so why would you get a tip?
They're not for you anymore. I just told you why I should get a tip. I had to pack all of this in my car and bring it to you guys and unpack it. You did not pay me. You paid the delivery app.
Food, okay?
You paid the delivery app. You did not pay me. Do you not understand that? No, I'm taking all of this back.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No,
you guys can get your refund, and another delivery driver can deal with you guys. I'm not going to deal with
No,
it anymore.
you're stealing.
No, I'm not stealing it. I'm taking it back.
How do we know you're
going
going to take it back to the store? How do we know you're going to take it back to the store?
Now, when I'm analyzing things, I always try to look at things from both perspectives of the problem, right? See, on one side, the lady signed up and purposely selected the order to deliver it. And on the other side, the couple placed the order they wanted for convenience, right? Everything is about convenience now in this world. That's what we're here talking about. We're talking about convenience. How much does it cost and what are you willing to pay for convenience? And what is right and what's wrong in this situation, if any? Were they obligated to tip? Should she expect a tip? Or everybody should just go on their merry way? I want to know. Talk to me. But you're probably asking, why sign up for these jobs if the pay is so low? It's not our problem. But, you know, here go a few, things that may have come up in someone's life. Maybe they just want a friendly schedule. They just starting working and, want to be able to have a friendly schedule. Maybe they were just laid off. Maybe times is rough. Maybe they want to save up for a new car, a new house. That's not for us to worry about. And we're just here to help bring awareness to the situation. But when you go on dates, business meeting, or hanging out with the friends, we automatically expect a tip because that's human nature, right? Waiters, waitresses, they rely heavily on tips if you don't know. So if you're not tipping, think about it and understand that these waiters and waitresses rely heavily on tips, right? And it's no different for food carriers. These people that work for these food apps, they rely heavily on tips. Now, I did a little research because I want to help shine some light on these situations. Now, that base pay can be as low as $2.75 per service and up to $8 per service for drivers, right? So $2.75. If that's your base pay and that's the amount you're gonna make each service, you need at least 13 trips to make over $100, and that's not including tips. So let's think about that and let's let that sink in. So 13 trips at $8 is, quick math, that's $104. So you have to be making not the low end of the pay, you have to make the top end of the pay to clear $100. Now let that sink in. Now sometimes, like you said, they're not even making $8 each trip. So this is how important tips is to these drivers and these people delivering service. I want to give you another example. I want to watch this dude and take you through his day and see what his day entails as a food carrier. And let's see how his day ends.
total of 6 hours. $50. 6 strips. This is my slowest day with $8 hourly pay.
Now, sometimes you have to put yourself in other people's shoes to feel the pain that they feel or they're experiencing. And this guy, you see what he had to go through. You got to hustle and bustle to make your money. And, you know, being a food carrier is not an easy job. And you must hustle to save time and to make more money and make more money, right? You got to hustle and be fast and quick, and so you can get to the next job and hurry up and deliver that, right? Now they have food carriers picking up food and demanding a tip before they deliver service because they understand the base pay is not enough. Now, they got to resort to using their leverage in order to be compensated properly. Right? Have y'all experienced this? Because I'm reading about this, and this is what's going on. I have never experienced this. If you have, let me know what state or what country you're in, because this is a situation, and I don't think it's going to get any better unless they change the pay. I even heard the companies were taking the tips and paying their salary from the tips. Is that true? And it's wild out here, right? So now the food carrier demanding a tip and holding your food hostage. And you place the order, you're extremely hungry, you and your family or your loved one, your girlfriend, or whoever it is, and y'all ready to eat. And now you're on the phone trying to negotiate for your food, and it's doing circles and circles and circles around the highway, and the driver is demanding a $5 tip, right? What are you gonna do in this situation? And if you don't tip, you have to wait for another driver to pick up your food. And then the food, of course, is gonna be cold, and it's just a no-win for nobody. It's just an all-around bad situation. Now, of course, the companies don't condone in this harassment behavior, but let's see if they fix the problem, because it's very feasible, right? And it's an easy task. So these companies make millions and millions of dollars, and it's very feasible to fix, right? Now, I have one of my good friends who was my college roommate, and he also had a problem with tipping. After meeting him and we getting to know each other, he changed his perspective on tips. But I'm gonna bring him in, and let's hear from my college roommate, my good friend, Elton E.P. Patterson. All right, let's welcome my good friend and college roommate, Elton Patterson, also known as EP. Like I said, everybody has a different experience in life and growing up, and you grow up in different environments and how you see things. And like I said, when I got to know my roommate a little better, and we helped each other. We helped each other get better. And tipping became an issue. And it was something we had to talk about as friends. And I'm going to let my brother, EP, tell you his experience about tipping. What's up, brother?
What's up, my brother? What's going on?
What's up? What's happening, man? So I was telling we're doing an episode right here about the food services and tipping, the people when they deliver the services and deliver these for these apps and do deliveries for these apps. And, I brought you up, brother. So tell us how you feel and your thought process about tipping.
Well, overall, though, I think tipping is good. Let's say that. Let's get that off the bat. But it hasn't always been like that. If we go back to college, we had an issue. I think we went to Red Lobster or something, and it's probably our first time. That's big time back then. Like, we're going to Red Lobster, boy. Let's go.
Yes,
so we go to Red Lobster. Just to tell you the background of the story real quick, we go to Red Lobster. So after we eating everything, you like, EP, you gonna tip? How much you gonna put in on the tip? And I was like, why would I tip for them doing their job? And you was like, what? Are you serious, EP? I was like, yeah, my mama always told me, like, I just never seen my mom tip. And you couldn't believe it, right? So that at that moment, it was a learning experience. So we dug deep a couple of times. We talked about it. And what we came up with is how we were brought up. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but the way I was brought up, youngest of 10 kids in the house, Mom barely working, daddy having a job. Well, my mom's working, but she's not rich or anything by no means. And I never went out. We never went out to eat hardly, you know? And I never saw my mom tip. We probably didn't have it, even if she wanted to. I can imagine my mom had $1 million or something, she'd probably leave a tip. But she didn't come from that generation, so it passed on to me. So it was just an awkward thing for me to see. And then it was that learning experience, like, wow, I guess it is tip. And understanding what gratuity, what it means, if somebody provides you a service, you're not tipping because of the food, you're providing that person providing you a service in time and energy. So now I'm a generous tipper. I over tip just for people being nice. It's like, if you're just nice to me, I'm a tip. But in college, I was nowhere like that.
And that's my point. And I think the main thing that we talked about, and I was saying that's how you get your good karma and get your blessings. You know, you do things for people that you don't necessarily have to do, and you get your good karma and things come back good for you. But that goes to show you how, you know, people grow up in different environments. And Elton grew up in Tallahassee, Florida, where you say a house of 10 people, not really going out to eat that much. And when they did go out to eat, he didn't really see tips because they didn't really go out to eat that much, or they wasn't really used to it. So it was something he wasn't familiar with. And then he had to move to another environment to understand how important it was to tip and things like that. And, you know, and he's a better man. He's a better tipper. And, you know, well, how long ago was that, brother?
Gee, that was about 20 years ago, my brother. On
25. He's trying not to say it.
Okay, all right.
25 years ago.
Okay, all right. It was 20 to 25. Hey, early to mid 20s. How about that amount of years?
Mid-20s. So, man, it was a fun time because it was like he said, it was something I always seen people and thought, you know, you got to tip. And then to see someone come up there and then have a different perspective, it kind of threw me for a whole loop. Like, EP, you're really not going to tip these people? You don't want no blessings? Like, but it's no right or no wrong. It was just, you know what I mean? But now you got to tip. Like, you know what I mean? Nowadays, you got to tip. You know
it's all about how you feel. It's the energy, right? It's the karma, getting it back. I remember one time, it blew my mind. I think it was after your game when you came to Jacksonville, maybe after the Super Bowl. And we went to Waffle House, and you left this lady like $100 tip. Right. And I'm like, hey, bro, you dropped some money on the table. You're like, no, EP is cool. You're like, come on, man, let's go. Because you don't even want the notoriety of it. You just want to, hey, let's go before she come back. All right.
Right.
We get to the car and she's running. Oh my gosh. Thank you. You left this for me. You like, yeah, man, you good? No, you saved my life. You don't know what I was going through. And that allowed me to see the evolution of why you tip and the power of it. And I'm like, I want to influence, I want to be that person for somebody one day and over tip and change somebody's life.
Yeah, that was a good feeling. It was a good feeling, and you get that good feeling from seeing someone else smile and the things that $100 might have did for them. You have no idea, but you know what I mean. So
I do have a question for you though, brother.
Talk to me.
It's a little topic. How do you feel about tipping on to-go orders when you're just there, or you picking up something, or better yet, I was at a game this past weekend and you put your own food on the tray and it says, are you going to leave a tip? And it calculates how much it is. How do you feel about those tips?
Well, that goes off my energy right there. If I'm feeling like a nice vibe, or I might have a few dollars left over, I just throw a tip down, but not really a big tipper on picking up to-go orders. But I am guilty for what this episode is about, and it's not tipping on the food when you're ordering from food services or the food apps, and the food carriers. And I would just get my food and let it be done. So I'm talking about it because I'm guilty of it. You know what I mean? And I don't know. Do you tip the food carriers when you ordering on DoorDash or anything like that? Uber
I do. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, it may be by country. I don't necessarily do the 20%, right? I do a few dollars or something like that. But I don't necessarily do the whole 20% on the to-go orders. But this newest one, when you just putting your food on the thing and it's nobody even around and it's asking you, do you want a tip? I was trying to figure. Now, I elevated 20 years later trying to figure that out. Like, do I tip on this? Who am I tipping? The electronics?
Right. Like, they got machines asking for a tip. Like, what's going on here? Like, geez. Are we feeding machines now? We're supposed to be trying to help our neighbors, not the machines. Like, what we got going on here, man?
Right.
So I think
right.
that was pretty funny, man. And this episode that I'm covering, I don't know if you know or you've seen, but people are requesting service. They're ordering groceries, and this one young lady, she went to go deliver $400 worth of groceries, and she demanded a tip, and the couple decided not to tip her, and she took the food back. So
Wow.
because the base salary is so low, and these
Right.
people depend on tips, just like waiters and waitresses and stuff like that. So it's a crazy situation. They even holding people foods hostage out there on the highway. Like, they'll send you a message, "Hey, you gonna tip me?" And if you say no, they're gonna be circling the highway with your food, man. That's crazy, man.
That is crazy. How do you tip on? Do you still tip on bad service? Are you expecting them to get? Because a lot of people in those industries, not a lot, but some people aren't feel entitled to it, whether they provide you good service or not.
Yeah.
Do you still tip on bad service?
Bad service. Like I said, I'm an energy guy. I really don't want to leave without tipping, because I don't want to put that energy out there like that. But if you just have bad energy and bad service to that point, yeah, and I might complain about the bill too. I might take it a little step further. But if it's just generally a mistake or an innocent and honest mistake, then no, I'm still gonna tip. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah, it's very rare now that I don't tip. I don't see a reason, unless they were just rude, that I wouldn't tip, even if the service was long or food wasn't good. I'm still a tip. That's how I am now.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Appreciate you for stopping through, buddy. And shout out to Elton Patterson. Anything else you need to say to the people? This is we living and learning over here. So live and learn, baby.
Hey, it's called what we say a while ago. It's called learning life. You living in good energy at all times. That's the goal. So if that's your main goal, then I think everything else will come together for you. And that's how I feel.
Yeah, for sure. All right, brother. Next time.
All right, my man. Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yep.
Elton Patterson's perspective on tips and how he was brought up in the environment he was raised in. Everybody is brought up and raised differently. So everyone doesn't think the same. Everybody has their own personality, their own thought process, and nobody's right, nobody's wrong. But just understand put yourself in other people's shoes. My good friend, he had that situation, and now look at him. Things are bigger and better. Now, restaurants also, you got to realize restaurants had these situations and these issues. And that's why when you get your bill at some restaurants, gratuity is already in the bill, because they experienced these problems and they figured out how to handle it. They said, we don't got time for you knuckleheads coming here and not tipping our waitresses and our waiters and making them provide good service, because we're not paying them good. So y'all supposed to be paying them good. So instead of us waiting on you guys to tip our waiters and our waitresses, we're gonna add the gratuity in there for you. And that's how that probably came about. To break it all down and conclude this thing, in my opinion, right? If you didn't plan for tipping for service in that couple's situation, after you saw what she had to go through to bring or deliver your goods, I think it's fair to say I could have just gave her a little tip. Give me my goods. I understand you're demanding this tip. You have the leverage. It's okay. I ordered $400 worth of groceries, $10, $5, $20, whatever it is. Handle it, take care of it. And that's it for your boy, Sante Sandy. Live and learn. I'm out.